Hello everyone, it is game day. We are reaching the business end of the season. The running starts now. Yes, so every game now on the Game Day YouTube channel is massive. It is the running. Teams looking to go up, teams looking to stay up in their respective leagues. We're covering loads of different teams here on Game Day, and I'm going to go through some of the main players that will feature on the Game Day YouTube channel because, to be honest, pretty much every team that we're going to be watching for the rest of the season has something to play for. And we'll start off with Peterborough United, who are looking to win promotion to the Championship. Yes, the Super Posh apparently find themselves 4th in League One on 68 points, 1 point ahead of 5th place Barnsley. Portsmouth are 1st on 77, Derby 2nd on 72, and Bolton are 1st on 71. But that top three have played a game more than Peterborough and Barnsley, so should Posh and Barnsley win their games in hand, you're looking at a very, very tight top 5. It's a 5-way race. This Saturday you've got Peterborough Portsmouth and Derby versus Bolton, which is possibly the most important round of the League One season, could really decide who's going up, who's going into the playoffs. On the last day of the season, Peterborough United played Bolton as well, which I hope not. From a Peterborough point of view, is a promotion decider. Hopefully Peterborough are already up by then, but from a neutral's point of view, Peterborough Bolton could be a all winner takes promotion decider on the last day of the season. And one more point that is worth mentioning, obviously, say Peterborough got to play Portsmouth, Bolton have got to play Derby and Posh. Portsmouth have to play all the other 4 teams in the top 5. They've got to play Derby, they've got to play Bolton, they've got to play Peterborough, and they've got to play Barnsley. There's good and bad to that. Good thing is, if they beat all of them, they'll get promoted because they'll extend their gap. So if they lose all of them, they're losing valuable points to teams around them, and that's 4 defeats if they lose all of them. I don't think they'll win all of them. I don't think they'll lose all of them. I think Portsmouth are up, personally. I think they'll win the league. I mean, sure, they've only got a 6-point gap to 3rd place, but I think it's a big enough gap that they'll go up. In terms of who'll go up in 2nd place, I really don't know. I don't think it'll be Bolton, because Bolton are on a bit of a dodgy run. I'm going to say Peterborough. Obviously, I want it to be Peterborough, and I am going to say Peterborough. They had that rust back. That's my good thing on Peterborough. I think they've had their dodgy spell now where they lost 4 games in a row. They're back on a good winning run. I think it's 4 wins in a row. They play Stevenage on Wednesday here on Game Day. I think they'll get seconds, and Derby, Bolton and Barnsley will go into the playoffs where they might be joined by Stevenage, maybe Oxford, a couple other teams who are sniffing around it as well. Your Blackpools, Northampton up there as well. I think Leyton Orient are up there as well. But I don't think 6th place to win the playoffs. It'd be one of Derby, Bolton or Barnsley to win them. But either way, it's going to be a fantastic end to the League One season. 5 teams battling out for 2 automatic promotion spots. And we're seeing a few games from Peterborough United here on the Gameday YouTube channel starting on Wednesday versus another playoff contender, Stevenage FC. I'll move on now to have a look at the National League, where, in terms of the Game Day YouTube channel, we have 2 horses in the running in the playoffs. Aaron Jones's Aldershot Town FC and Luke Cannon's Gateshead FC. Aldershot currently find themselves 5th, played 37, and they've currently got themselves 60 points, 4 points clear in the playoffs. Gateshead, meanwhile, they're only 1 point clear of 8th place Halifax, but do have game in hand on Aldershot, game in hand on Halifax. They've got 2 in hand on the likes of Solihull and Oldham, so they need to be winning them games. And Gateshead and Aldershot do play each other at the Gateshead International Stadium in a couple of weeks' time. I won't be there. It's midweek. If it was a Saturday, I possibly could have done a midweek one. It's much too far from me from Norfolk. But yeah, it's a big one. Gateshead are having a bit of a wobble, but they're into the FA Trophy semi-finals now. I don't actually know the draw. In fact, the draw is literally happening as I'm recording this now. So I don't know who they've got. Hopefully they've got a decent tie. I think it's Solihull Moors, Bromley and Macclesfield left. So Macclesfield would be nice. Another trip to Wembley. As for Aldershot, they've turned it around. I did think they were starting to fall away. Of course, they lost Aaron Jones to injury. Part of the reason why we've not been for a little while to Aldershot, but we will be back. Hopefully he's back in time for the playoffs after his operation. They have turned their form around. I think both Aldershot and Gateshead will get into the playoffs. I can't decide who'll win the playoffs. I want both of them to go up. It's not possible. Chesterfield are 20 points clear. They've already won the league. Just give them the trophy now. Either Aldershot or Gateshead to go up would be really nice. And both of them have got a chance. I think both of them will get the playoffs. Both of them have got a chance. Yeah, it's tight in them playoffs. Of course, you want to finish in the top 3, second or third, to skip around and have a home semi-final, and that's something that Aldershot and Gateshead still have the possibility to do. So a strong end to the season, get into that top three, and be in good form heading into the playoffs, hopefully. And just as I said with Peterborough United, we will see a few games from Aldershot and Gateshead in the running towards the end of this season. Oh, and before we move on, I've just had a look at the FA Trophy draw. Gateshead have Macclesfield at home. The draw I wanted, 50 Gateshead at home to 70 Macclesfield. Yes, Macclesfield is a very good team, owned or run by Robbie Savage, but that's the best tie Gateshead could have got. Bromley versus Solihull in the other one. Gateshead could be going to Wembley. Could we be having another Wembley trip on our cards? Come on, the Heed. Ho, the lads. Moving on to the sixth tier now, and once again, two teams that we've seen regularly on game day this season. National League South, Chelmsford, who are looking to go up, and National League North, Norfolk team Kings Lynn, who are looking to stay up. We'll start off with Chelmsford, of course, looking for promotion. At the feet to Worthing looks really, really bad now because Yeovil will keep dropping points. If Chelmsford had won that game against Worthing, they'd only be 6 points off top. I do think Yeovil have won the league still, though, because of Chelmsford's dropped points. But the fact that Worthing have also dropped points since that Chelmsford game, Chelmsford currently 5 points clear in second, have played a game more, but that 5-point gap, Worthing can win that game in hand, is still only 2 points behind. Chelmsford are looking good for that second spot, and as I said in that video, second spot means you just skip around of the playoffs, have a home semi-final, and have a home final. That's key for Chelmsford. They look like they're going to do it. Really good side. They're not very good when I watch them, to be honest. They always seem to score quite a lot of goals when I'm not watching them. They'll definitely be in the playoffs. There's no question of that. It's whether they can finish in that top, that second and third spot, and whether they can get that second spot. I think they will, as they're having a good run, and hopefully when it comes to the playoffs, so we can create a good atmosphere at the Melbourne Stadium, and hopefully we can see Chelmsford in the National League. Now, Chelmsford find themselves in a similar position that Kings Lynn found themselves in last year. However, unfortunately, the Norfolk side, they don't see themselves in the promotion race like they did last year. They're looking to stay up in the division this year. Poor start to the season, lots of financial troubles, which was well covered on the Gameday YouTube channel. We are going to see Kings Lynn on Tuesday. It's the first game officially of the running when they travel to Bishop Stortford in what was a big game in their fight for survival. Kings Lynn have turned it around. They had a 2.5-week break. I think it was sort of towards the end of January, beginning of February, due to postponements and other teams playing in cup competitions, and that really helped Lynn. It allowed them to rest, get their fitness up to a good level, but I think they also used it to, get to know their tactics, get to know Adam Lakeland's tactics a lot better, because since then, I don't think they've actually lost since that break. They've certainly not lost many if they have. They have a good run. They currently find themselves 19th, outside of the relegation zone on 43 points after 37 games. Bottom two, Gloucester. Gloucester aren't fishing out of it, but I think they're a little bit too far off to stay up, and Bishop Stortford are miles off it. They are definitely going down. They've won in all competitions one of their last, I think it's about 20 odd, and that one was the one we saw when they beat Aldershot 6-1. Every time Bishop Stortford lose, I get more frustrated that Aldershot went there and lost 6-1. How? They've not. I think that's the only game they've won this year. That's mental. But in terms of the relegation scrap in the National League North, we've got 16th place Farsley on 46 points from 37 games. Southport, same amount of games, 45 points. Blythe have also played 37 on 43 points, exact same as Kingston, slightly better goal difference for Blythe. Rushall, just outside the relegation zone, they played 37 on 41 points. Darlington, who I thought were gone a couple of weeks ago, they've had a good run, and they included a 4-0 win against Scunthorpe United. They're on 40 points but have played 38. Banbury United, they're on 37 points, so a few points off, but they've only played 36 games. They've got 2 in hand on Darlington and 1 on the 5 teams above them. So it is going to be very tight. Kingsland has a big game against Bishop Stortford, which they need to be winning. I think Kingsland will be fine, which a couple of months ago I didn't think they would be. But they've turned it around. The financial situation looks good with the Singaporean Turn Sports investments in, and their National League North status looks good. Hopefully they can stay up, which I think they will. Push on next season, look to gain promotion back to the National League next year. But they've got to finish this job off first. It starts on Tuesday versus Bishop Stortford. Now, as you know, I'm a big fan of non-league football, and in particular supporting my local teams. I'm from Norfolk, and on this channel over the next, for the rest of this season and over next season, I want to bring more awareness to Norfolk football, these Norfolk teams, give them the credit for the fantastic work they do in the community, in the non-league game, and it's just amazing some of the things you see at a non-league game. Great Yarmouth Town versus Framlingham. Watch that video if you haven't already, because that was fantastic. It finished Great Yarmouth Town 2, Framlingham 0. The atmosphere from the Amber Wave was amazing. It really got me falling in love with Great Yarmouth. The Amber Wavers. Also subscribe to the Amber Wave show. And Non-League Wonders, who also covers lots of local non-league football. Their links will be in the description below. They do fantastic coverage for the non-league game in Norfolk. But yeah, as I say, Great Yarmouth Town 1-2-0 at the weekend. They went top of the 10th tier, overtaking Framlingham. They're now 1 point ahead, 76 points compared to Framlingham 75. If you watched the pre-game show that was on the Great Yarmouth Framlingham game, you'll see Great Yarmouth's fixtures for the rest of the season. They are kind, they're good fixtures, they've got plenty at home. I think Great Yarmouth will win the league, which is fantastic. Mid-table last year, now they look like they're going up to the 9th tier. Fantastic for the town, fantastic for the fans, fantastic for the club. We'll see him at the weekend against Neighbour Markets under 23s. We'll see him plenty of other times for the rest of the season in the running. I can't wait to see the season finale for Great Yarmouth Town, because I think it's going to end with a title and promotion. They might not be the only Norfolk team going up from the 10th tier this year. There's two teams that could potentially, from Norfolk, sneak into the playoffs. This town are currently on 54 points, not 34, 54 points, level on points with the playoffs and Harwich and Parkston, but they have played 2 more games than Harwich and Parkston. And Dussingdale and Helston Rovers, who I believe only just got promoted from the 11th tier last year, they're 9th on 49 points. They've played 32. It is a big outside chance for Dussingdale and Helston, but the fact that they're even in the top half of the table, having been recently promoted, fantastic season for Dussy. As for a couple other Norfolk teams in the 10th tier, in the following Division 1 North, Norwich CBS are mid-table. They're not going up or going down. They're 43 points in 33 games. Swaffham, they've had some big defeats this season. Certainly to them top teams, but they're on 30 points from 29 games. They should stay up. They're 7 points clear of the drop. I think they'll be fine. They do need some more points, but they should be fine. Norwich CBS in mid-table. Dusty and Dis might get the playoffs, and Great Yarmouth, I think, will be winning the league. In terms of other teams from Norfolk, of course, we've got to look in the Championship at Norwich City. David Wagner under a lot of pressure this season, and at one point I thought he was a goner. I think it was sort of December time. He had a game away to Cardiff, which I thought was going to be his last. Norwich City had a comeback win there, 3-2, and that was the turning point. Since then, they've been on great form. This year, they've been in amazing form. They've got one of the best home records in the league. It's their away form that's letting them down, though. They're near the bottom of the league on their away record. If they sort out their away form, they'd be up there with the top 4 of Leicester, Southampton, Leeds, and Ipswich. They're not, though, but they are in the playoff picture. 58 points from 37 games. That puts them currently in 6th spot in the Championship. They're 5 points behind West Brom. Can't see West Brom being caught. They'll finish 5th. The battle is for 6th, and it's a tight one. Norwich on 58 points from 37 games. Hull also on 58 points from 37 games. Coventry a point further back from that. Preston on 53 points, but do have a game in hand. Cardiff also on 53 points. They've played 37 like Norwich, Hull and Coventry. Middlesbrough on 50 points. They've got a game in hand. They're on 36 games. It's going to be a tight finish of the season. Norwich City, their home form is perfectly fine. They've got to keep doing what they're doing at home. If they can just sort out that away form, they will get the playoffs. Do I think they will? I don't know. It's so tight. Obviously, I hope they do. Love Norwich. Had a season ticket there for years, up until the end of last season, actually. And obviously, I hope they get playoffs. Obviously, I hope they go up. There is a chance they could play Ipswich at some point in the playoffs, whether that's in the semi-finals or maybe an East Anglian derby at Wembley, which would just be nuts. Yeah, just sort out your away for Norwich and you'll be in the playoffs. But there are teams, Hull, Coventry and Preston in particular, who are, they're sniffing. They're there. But hopefully Norwich can get it over the line. A quick look now at a few more teams from Norfolk. In the Ishmael League North Division, there's 2 Norfolk teams, Galston and Wroxham. They're both mid-table. Decent season for both from Galston. Needed sort of almost a great escape last year. They could have gone down, but a good run towards the end of the season saw them stay up. They're 12th, 33 points from 26 games. Wroxham 1 place behind, 31 points from 26 games. Decent seasons, decent platforms for the 2 teams to build on. Next season, hopefully, one or even both of them could look to build a playoff push next year. But I'm happy with them 2 seasons. It's good, it's stable. They're not going up, they're not going down. And as I say, good platform for next season. As for the ninth tier of English football, the following Premier Division, will it be a Suffolk team winning the league? Mildenhall Town are 16 points clear at the top of the league. They're not being caught. There's a good chance, and you could even have an all Norfolk playoffs possibly. You've got Suffolk Newmarket in second on 59 points, but then 4 Norfolk teams behind them. Thetford on 58 points, Melbarton on 57, Dereham on 56, Downham on 55. Dereham and Downham do have a game in hand as well. This is a really good chance of a Norfolk team going up through the playoffs there, and that would be really, really good to see. Another Norfolk team in the 8th tier of English football. I couldn't tell you who. I mean, at the start of the season I would have said Dereham because they were recently relegated from the 8th tier of English football, but yeah, either way, hopefully, I mean, there's a good chance the Norfolk team goes up for the playoffs. Hopefully that can happen. It's a good year for Norfolk teams in the 9th tier. And a quick mention for the other Norfolk teams in the following Premier Division. Harleston are a little bit further back in the playoff race. They have got an outside chance, but it is a slim chance. There is a chance, even if it's got no in front of it. It's a very slim chance. As for Fakenham and Sheringham, they're mid-table. They're fine. Heacham, who are newly, I should say down the market actually, were newly promoted. So they're having a really good season for a newly promoted team. Heacham, also newly promoted. They're a little bit lower down in the table, but they should have enough to stay up. They'll pick up a few more wins and they'll be fine. And a quick mention as well to Northern Premier League Division 1 West Side Chasetown FC, who of course we did watch on game day. Fantastic club, fantastic facilities. I cannot rate that club high enough. Since I've been there, though, they have been on a bit of a dodgy run. Not played too many games either, to be honest. They currently find themselves 8 points off the playoffs. They've got a game in hand. They have got the potential to reach the playoffs. It is going to have to be a good run at the end of the season. And even if they don't make the playoffs this year, I think there is good foundations in place. They've got some good players coming through the youth setup that I saw when I was there. They've got a fantastic stadium for the level. So even if they don't go up this year, there's certainly the foundations there for them to go up maybe next year or even the year after. And with that, we have come to the end of this video, looking at all the teams that will be seen in the running for the rest of the season. That's right, the running starts now on game day. If you have enjoyed this one, please don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below to let me know how your team will get on for the rest of the season. But once again, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on Tuesday for the start of the running. See you then. Goodbye.